Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about eutrophication. So what eutrophication is something which can negatively impact an ecosystem and can decrease the biodiversity. The biodiversity just means the range of different living organisms within an ecosystem. So let me explain how it works. So here at the moment we have a healthy lake, we've got fish, we've got aquatic plants, there's the sun up here, and this is a farmer's field right next to the lake. So, first of all, what the farmer does is he or she puts nitrates onto the crops. So nitrates are just a type of fertilizers or within fertilizers that encourage plants to grow. So what happens is this. So the nitrates are put on the crops. Now, when it rains, lots of these nitrates, what happens to them is they're actually washed into the rivers and lakes. Now, the effect that this has is this. On the surface of rivers and lakes, there are these plants called algae. So it's just a plant that kind of floats on the surface of a lake. Now, nitrates encourage plant growth. So when the nitrates wash in, it causes the algae to grow all the way along the surface of the water. Now, this is a big problem because at the bottom of the water we have all of these aquatic plants. Now, what has happened, because the algae has now grown across the whole surface of the water, the light from the sun can no longer get to these plants at the bottom of the river or the lake. As a result, these plants die because they can't photosynthesize. Because remember, for photosynthesis to occur, they need light. So all of these plants at the bottom of the lake die. Now that has a negative effect on the water because first of all, plants normally give out oxygen during photosynthesis and they take in carbon dioxide. So if the plants die, it means they will not be releasing any oxygen and they will be not taking as much carbon dioxide. So this will mean there'll be less oxygen in the water and less carbon dioxide in the water. What's also a problem is when these plants die, now this is the stage people often forget, so listen carefully. When these plants die, lots of microorganisms, so remember, microorganism is just a tiny living thing, microorganisms come along and break down all of these dead plants. Now, because microorganisms are living things, they respire. And as they do, they take in some of the oxygen from the water and they release more CO2. So this means we've now got a really, really low level of oxygen in the water because the plants aren't releasing any oxygen because they can't photosynthesize, they're dead. And these microorganisms are taking in oxygen as well. This is bad news for these fish here because these fish and other aquatic life in there that need oxygen in order to respire aerobically, they are going to die. So we can see here that our ecosystem has been completely transformed. Because the nitrates got into the water, it encouraged algae to grow all the way across the surface. Sun couldn't get to the aquatic plants, so they died. This meant there was less oxygen in the water. Microorganisms broke down the plants and took even more oxygen from the water, and this caused other aquatic life to die. This shows that there's been a real big decrease in the biodiversity within this area because so much of the aquatic organisms have died as a result. Thank you very much.